Hey guys, my name is Phyllis. I wanted to welcome you into my home. It's a log cabin. My husband and I live here, and I'm going to cook today for you. And if you don't like to cook, maybe you might start liking it, because it's a great way to provide a wonderful gift to your family. What you cook, they will eat and they will enjoy it. Today, I want to let you know that I've lived here in this house since 1985. My husband and I got it, and I'll show you some pictures of it, of how bad of a shape this place was in when we took it over. It was my husband's great-grandfather's home place, and it was massive in repair need. We wanted to save it because of the history and the love we have for our family. We love the country. We're on 90 acres. My husband's father had cattle, but now we don't have the cattle. We just farm it. We're in the country where I love, and I want you to come with me today and see what's happening. We're going to make Salisbury steak. Salisbury steak was originated by Dr. Salisbury. He was a man in the early 1800s, and he came up with this wonderful dish because he wanted people to stay healthy and well. Now today, when you think about hamburger meat or ground chuck, you're like, oh no, that's got too much fat in it. You can't cook that, but I'm not your doctor. I'm just gonna be your cook. The Navy took it and made it for all the soldiers to eat. During the Civil War, this was one of the main dishes they made. They did put filler in it, which we will be putting filler today. Today we'll put 1 cup of cornflakes in our meat. So we're going to put that in. We will put 1 onion, which I always use a Vidalia. Because I'm from the South, I love these onions. They're sweet, and they give it a really good flavor. I don't like a strong onion. And you don't want to sit next to somebody when you're at the table eating and have a strong onion taste. So I use the Vidalia. Also, a 1/2 cup of milk. Put that in, mix it up. Now, at this time, you can add your salt, which I do not add. You can add pepper, which I love, so I will season it the way I want it. And when you make yours, you season it the way you think your family will like it. Children will probably eat this today, so I don't want to make it real spicy. I put a little garlic because garlic is one of my totally favorite spices. So I've got my pepper, my garlic, and we just mix this up. And you can see what it looks like. If you think you want your stuff a little wet, we're going to add some eggs. A dear friend of mine gave me these eggs from her little farm that she has. So these are just good old fresh chicken eggs. And we're going to put 2 to 3. These are tiny little eggs, so we'll use 3 of them. Just so we get a good binding with our meat we're going to put in. Now go to the store, go to the grocery store, get you some meat. Just like Dr. Salisbury would want you to do, so that you will have a good protein, and this meal will make you feel energetic. Protein gives you that power that you need to power through your day, no matter what you're doing. I do try to always mix this pretty good. I'm going to get in here with my hands in about a few minutes. If you can mix this up before you get ready to make your patties, you can let that kind of mish together, and it makes it more tasty. If you want to add other things to this, you could. I never do because it comes out so good. What we'll do now is we'll build our patties. Usually, I'll get a plate out and just patty up. What we're going to do is flour these patties and just sear them, which means you're going to put them in a little grease, and you're just going to brown them. After you get them browned, you're going to put them in a skillet. With some cream and mushroom soup over them. And you're going to bake them. And while that's baking, you've got 30 minutes. You can go do a load of clothes, hang your clothes out, whatever you want to do, make a dessert, get you a good dessert made, something easy. And we'll be making some good desserts. This is not anything difficult to do. Even if you don't like to stand up and cook, you can make this sitting down. You can just sit down at a good little place, and you want to make your patties. Now, they might feel like, oh, I don't know if that's going to stay together or not. Or, oh, that's too much onion. But it's going to, when we cook it, it's going to stay together. If you don't feel like it's going to stay together, it will, because we're going to put self-rising flour around it. Once we get these patties made. Now, usually what I do is I get my flour out. I have all my stuff close by the stove. Well, somebody's calling me, and I think it's probably somebody that wants to know if I've got this done yet or not. And I'll have to tell them no, and they'll say, well, gosh, you've got to hurry up. So, I know I need to speed up if I get a phone call. And I'm not going to answer the phone with my hands like this. So they'd call me back. And I'll tell them, well, if you want the food, you got to let me cook. But that's who's calling. It was my granddaughter. She's 25 years old with a new baby. And she's the love of my life. Now, the reason we put the fillers in is to bind it, but also it makes your meat go further. Now, I'm going to wash my hands real quick, and then I'm going to get the flour out. And we're going to patty them up, grease them, put them in the grease, and fry them. Another thing about cooking, the reason you don't like it is because you don't have everything close. Get it all up here where you don't have to walk a mile. Put it all up where you can get to it. Have everything you need in one place. Now you can put these things in a Ziploc bag. However you want to fry them. We're going to turn on the fire. However you want to fry them. We're not going to cook them all the way through. We're going to put them in the oven. And we're going to let the oven do that so we can do something else. You know, that makes it easy, right? So once we get these floured up and get them seared in some hot grease over here, and you've got to be careful now and watch this because you don't want to burn your house down. No meal is worth that. Just watch it. Get you some more flour ready to put on top. And sometimes, if I'm in a real hurry and people are calling me wanting to eat, I just speed it up and I'll do things like this just to make it faster. And I'll show you all these little fast tricks that I've learned from being old. Just do it like that. Flip it over. And it didn't stick because you floured your plate. Now you can flour the other side. Usually I lay a towel down on the floor down here because I'm a messy cook. And I try to keep that door shut so nothing, that drawer shut so nothing dirties up the silverware. Now we put pepper in here when we started them, but we're going to put a little more on them. And what you want to do is take a piece of flour, drop it in and see if it makes a sound. If it doesn't, it's not hot enough. That'll let you know that when it's ready to go. Now, if you've got any questions or anything about this recipe, you can, you just make a comment, and I'll certainly try to answer it. But anyway, Dr. Salisbury, he invented this to try to get people to have more energy. In the Civil War, the soldiers needed more food. They had to make the food go further. So they put the corn, they put different things in it. Bread, eggs, things they had to expand it so that they didn't have to use as much meat. And then, I believe, in 1954, they invented TV dinners. And in those TV dinners, I believe the first one they came out with was Dr. Salisbury steak. But of course, he didn't get the recognition for it. They just labeled it Salisbury steak. And Salisbury steak is hamburger meat, sirloin steak, any meat that you want to make it out of. That sticks together like this. Now let's see. Oh, look. See, look at our flour. It's starting to make a little bubble. So that means it's hot. And what we're going to do is just, ooh, what a good sound. That is just going to be so good. If some of your onions fall out in the searing, don't even worry about it. We're going to rake this out in our casserole dish. So what we're losing, we're going to regain it. You just want to let that flour get a little bit dark. Now the heat I've got it on is pretty warm because we want to get a little brown, a little bit of brown. And you can see the mess I've already made on the stove. But I'll tell you, flour is pretty easy to clean up. Now your stove is going to work different than my stove. Stoves are not the same. Stoves get different amounts of electricity and power. You have to learn to know what your stove is going to do. Now see, I've got everything handy. That makes it easier. You have to know, oh, my stove is going to cook hot. My stove is slow. And see how they're browning up? That's what you want. Just a little bit of good searing. Oh, I wish you had smell-o-vision. The smell, it just makes me hungry. Let me tell you a little story while this cooks. And you see that one broke apart, but we're not going to worry about that because it's going to get in our big pan. We're going to put it in and cook it in the oven. Now, talking about smell, I really wish you could smell this, but one good smell when my husband and I first moved out here was we were asleep in the bed. Early one morning, about 5:15, we were still sleeping. My husband woke me up and said, Lordy mercy, you better get up and turn that sausage off that you're cooking. I said, honey, I hadn't even been up. I'm not cooking any sausage. She said, yes, you are. I know you are. I smell sausage cooking. You know, we live in an old log cabin. And I said, well, I guess somebody's in there cooking. I'll get up and go see. And I got up. No. But when I woke up, boy, was that sausage smell strong. And I said, oh, my gosh, I smell it too. My husband said his mother lived across the way. And he said, well, I guess Mama's cooking some sausages for him. I said, I doubt it's going to come in here. It was in the wintertime. We had our windows down and everything. And sure enough, it was sausage so strong you wouldn't believe it. And he told me, which I knew that, but our bedroom was the original kitchen. Had a great big cast iron black stove in there. And I thought, oh my gosh. They're cooking sausage this morning and we're getting the aroma. But we're not seeing them. We're not seeing any, just the smell was unbelievable. And we've told that story several times and people are just amazed that we had that experience, which was just unbelievable that was the kitchen back in the day when this log cabin was built. So things like that. That's just one of the stories about some of the smells that we've had here since we moved in. Now you let this get a little brown, and I'm going to jump over here and get me a casserole dish, and we're going to load it up, put our gravy in there, and just have us a big lunch. And we hope somebody will come along and clean all this mess up for us. But it's usually just me that does it. And I don't mind it if somebody enjoys the food. Now, this is a little casserole dish I got for Christmas from somebody. I didn't even have to buy it. Somebody gave it to me because they know I'm always needing a pretty little dish, and This is just, you know, you can buy that spray stuff for your dishes to kind of just keep everything from sticking. Well, I don't buy those things because they have so many chemicals in it. I just got me a little spray bottle to just, you know, do it myself. I don't want, this doesn't have all those chemicals. That's just oil, olive oil. And so you just want to get a little good coating so your stuff doesn't stick. Now you just take your patties. We're going to make room for our other ones that need to be cooked. And this middle one needs to be flipped. You may have to add some oil into your pan as you see your oil's going out. Just get them seared pretty good because we're not cooking them now. We are just searing them, which means we're just browning the meat a little bit. Putting a little heat to it, putting a little oil in it so it has a good flavor. It's an extra step. Now you could just throw the raw meat in there and cook it, but I'm going to go the extra step. I'm going to go the extra mile for my family, and you won't mind doing it either. Now, if you feel like you need a little oil, and you've got your little spray bottle full, which mine's not today, but you've got it handy, just pour you a little in. Keep everything you need handy. You can put more garlic on this. You can add things you want to add to it. If you wanted to put Worcestershire, and I'm not sure if that's how you say it, you could add that all over these patties, but my husband doesn't like it. I love it. I could drink the whole bottle, but he doesn't like it. So I leave it out, and I just let people put it on at the table. You can add mushrooms to this. You could have sauteed some mushrooms in here before you put the meat in. You could put some green chilies, whatever you want. Make it your dish. Make it your signature dish. Add more onions. Add anything you've got left over in the refrigerator that you want to add to it. Just, you know, make it your own thing. You don't have to go exactly by my recipe. You just make it your own dish. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my oven on so it can get hot and get this going. Because I'm getting hungry myself. Now this leftover flour on this plate, I'm going to put it in here and make a little gravy to go in with the cream of mushroom soup. Then we'll make some rice to go with this dish. Rice is another way to really make your meal feed a lot of people. A little rice goes a long way when you've got a meat dish, especially with gravy. And I do think Dr. Salisbury back in the 1800s, I think it was 1820, he was born in 1823, and he did invent this recipe to make people healthy. This was why he invented it. And he named it the Salisbury steak. And in Germany, they took this recipe that he came up with, and they turned it into the hamburger. And I'm sure y'all have heard about the Hamburg burger. That's what they call it. And that's how we ended up with hamburger. So think about things like that when you're cooking it. How did it end up here, and why are we cooking it, and what does this do for us? But what it does for you, it helps you feed your family. And you can pass these kind of recipes on to people, and they can learn to feed their families. Well,
hello.
Oh my gosh, my great-granddaughter is here to get her hamburger. My beautiful granddaughter. How are you doing, Faith?
Good, how are you?
How are you doing, Audrey-Ann? I love you. Hey, Jacob, you know, we always have to speak to you last.
I know it.
Make yourselves at home. I had all this on my hands. I couldn't answer the phone when you called.
That's okay.
I was covered up. So I didn't get to
What are you
it.
cooking?
I'm cooking Dr. Salisbury steaks so that y'all can get all healthy eating all this good food.
Aw.
Now, Jacob, your brother, he's still in Germany, isn't he?
He is.
And tell me what part of the service he's serving.
Army.
Army, that's right. I don't know why I can't remember that. Isn't that wonderful that we have somebody that's willing to go over there and serve for our country? And when does he get to come home? And y'all got a sack of food. Lord have mercy.
We tried calling you.
Well, I couldn't answer the phone. I told Faith I was covered. How was church?
It was good.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the sermon about? Did you listen?
Well, I had to leave. And
I knew it. I knew you didn't hear a word they said, and you're trying to make an excuse.
No.
What
Jacob
did they
might be
preach
able to
about?
tell you.
What did they preach about, Jacob? Were you there?
I was there.
We had a guest preacher.
Oh, Lordy. Well, where was our preacher?
He said he was out of town. I don't know where he is.
Well, we can let them leave every now and then, can't we? Sometimes they need to get away from us, too, I guess. You know, they get tired of all our problems and complaints. But anyway, I'll have this ready in about 30 minutes. But y'all go ahead and eat what y'all brought for an appetizer. So you thought I wasn't cooking, didn't you, when you called? Now, if you want to learn, Faith, where'd you go? Well, you need to come in here and learn how to make this gravy. You want to learn? Jacob might need to learn. I think he does most of the cooking. Don't you, Jacob?
I do.
See there? He's an honest man. He's not gonna lie about it. Now we got all this giblet left in here, and we're gonna pour a little more oil on our giblet stuff in there. Gonna leave a burner on. Just keep everything handy like I told you, and you'll love to cook. And I'm gonna get me a t-shirt to say something about keep everything handy. And I'm just using what I got, the leftover flour, no need to get any more. Throw it in there, stir it up. If you think it's too hot, pick your skillet up. You don't have to burn it. Put it back down. Just work it up. Faith, you're not over here learning how. I guess you just...
Smells good.
Say that again out loud.
It smells good.
Well, get over here and finish cooking it for me. Can you finish this gravy?
I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, this ain't done yet. Don't get a plate out. We got to bake it for 30 minutes. See how I told you they're ready to eat?
Are you going to pour the gravy on top of it?
Oh, yes, child. But you know, Papa don't like mushrooms. I was going to put mushrooms all over it.
He probably won't be able to tell even if he did.
I don't know how to disguise them, or we'd load it with mushrooms, wouldn't we? Me and you. Faith, would you get over there in my pantry and get me a can of cream of mushroom soup? No? Yes? Maybe?
I'm looking.
Not over there. You know where I keep my other stuff.
In the stairs.
In the stairwell. In the old stairwell. I'm so glad y'all came over. Now my gravy's getting a little thick, so I might put a little more water in it. You can put milk in it if you want some calories. If somebody in your family's sick and you're wanting them to get stronger, put a little milk in it. Don't put water. I put water because I don't need any more calories. And most of my family doesn't need any more calories. But now Faith here, she could use some more. You found it.
I did.
Bless
It's all
you.
been up.
Well, I always buy the bent cans. You know, they're cheaper than the regular ones. And nothing's wrong with them. And I always get the pop top. I love the pop top. So much easier. Now I just throw this in here. You can throw it on there. You can do whatever you want to do. But I like things to be kind of creamed up. So I just throw it in here. And I just work it in my gravy. Now, gravy is one of the cheapest things you could ever make to feed a family. And we're going to make some biscuits one day and show you how to get that gravy and biscuit going on and make some good stuff to cheaply feed somebody. You can get you a biscuit jar and put your leftover biscuits in there and just warm them up when you're hungry. Now you see about how thick it is. it's going to bake for 30 minutes. So you may want to put a little more water in it just because you're going to bake it. Now I'm going to rinse this out. Get a little more mushroomy stuff. Now, we're just about ready to pour it over our meat. Then we're going to make our rice. You just want to make sure you've got it mixed up good. Now would be the time to put any more spices or anything else you wanted in here, like the Worcestershire sauce and all that, because this is fixing to go in the oven for 30 minutes. And our meat is going to cook. We're going to play with that baby for 30 minutes while this cooks. And make our rice, and then we're going to have a meal. Now, see how easy that was. Did I even leave my post? I went out for this pan is all I did. You know, I didn't even take 10 steps, did I? See, cooking is not a headache. It's really easy. Just keep things within your reach. I've got a small kitchen, and that's why it's easy for me to keep things close. I know some of you don't have a lot of space, but you can see you can take a little swing of my kitchen and see there's not a lot of storage, but that don't bother me. I just make the best out of it I can. Now I've got my oven on 350. I'm gonna throw it in here. It's 5 till 12. I mean 5 till, oh no, it's 5 till 1. No wonder you're starving. Faith, I'm so sorry. Now I'm going to walk because I've lost my pot holders. Little baby doll.
Audrey might want some when it's done.
She will want some of that gravy. Can't wait till she can start eating. It's 5 till 1. That is crazy. Now, I had my biscuit pan in there. I've had it about 25 years. Look how burned up it is. But I wouldn't throw it away for nothing. Most people would have threw that pan away 2 years ago. Now, we're throwing this in here in my dirty oven. Make sure I don't have any other pans in there. 30 minutes. We're back. We're ready to. I didn't want you to have to sit here while water boils. You know, they say if you watch a boiling pot, if you watch water try to boil, it will never boil. So that's why I turned you guys off. So now it's boiling. 1 cup of rice. And we're going to get another cup because we've got some guests today. Some wonderful people are here that I love so much. My brother and his wife are here, and they are just precious. My granddaughter's here. Her baby's here, which is my great granddaughter. Dump your other cup in. Now just to give it a little stir. And then, yes, it's instant rice. These people are waiting for their food. They can't wait for me 20 minutes to cook a pot of rice. We're making instant rice. You do you and I'll do me. And I'm going to get me a shirt that says that. You do you and I'll do me. You put butter, sugar, whatever you want in here. You do it the way you and your family. Everybody's different. Don't change for me. Now I'm going to put the lid on. And guess what? This rice is going to be tender just about at the same time that our Salisbury steak is coming out of the oven. The only thing better I could have made was some hot biscuits. I'm going to take our Salisbury steak out that Dr. Salisbury taught us how to make. Now I'm going to lay it here. We're going to have a buffet style. Now you see all that goodness right there? We got our rice already cooked. And what I'm doing is warming up
Do you know I've got these earrings at home?
some sourdough bread that I made. I don't think anybody will want that, do you? I might just put that back in there for later. No, I'm going to keep heating it up and let them eat it. All right, guys. We've already said grace earlier today, so anybody that wants to come make a plate and give us a test run, and then y'all can report back in the morning to let us know whether you were sick during the night or if you lived eating this food, okay? Who's going to be first? Usually in the Hazlewood family, you may disagree with this, but usually in the Hazlewood family, the men go first. One of our men, they're on a business call on Sunday. One of our other men has already eaten because he was starving after church. So really, we have more females in our family than males. So these girls are going to start. Help yourself.
I'll fix Pepper's plate.
All right. There's a scoop for the gravy. And I need to get a spatula to get your meat out. Guys, we're all eating now, and I've had no negative comments, and nobody's talking much. They're stuffing their pie holes, so it must be pretty good. Nobody said, oh, this is terrible. So, and they'll tell me, trust me, they'll tell me if something's not good. They love to give me a negative comment. And I know you guys will too, but guess what? I don't care. If you want to be negative, these people have already gave me the first run of being negative. My own family. Yeah. So you try to make me upset. It won't work. Anyway, back to our food. Oh, I'm wearing it. But look, this is a very economical meal invented by a physician. What else would you want? And you can use turkey. You don't have to use beef. And go ahead and condemn me for using that. Yeah, I don't need to eat red meat, but I like it. And my family does. Get you some turkey. Get you some chicken. In the packs, it's readily available in your refrigerator section of your grocery store. Get you a box of instant rice. You've got a meal in no time. Like I told you, it's economical. Make it. Feed your people. Let your people eat. Make it any time. Now, another thing I meant to throw in there. You can make that ahead of time. Go ahead. Make it up. Sear it. Bake it. Bake it off. Put it in an aluminum pan and freeze it. Take it out. Go ahead and put your gravy with it. Then you can just take it out and warm it up. And there you are. If you're going to church or going to something special and you don't have time to cook on Sundays, just go ahead and put it in the freezer, take it out, and make your meal. I love y'all for joining in today. My family, I love them so much. I want you to get to meet every one of them. They're so precious. They're all so different in every way. And I'm so excited that you're going to be my friend and I can learn about you. I want to pray for you all. I want you to comment on things that are going on in your life and recipes that you have that you would like for me to make and share with other people, because this has to be something we all do together, not just me, but we'll all do it together. We'll share these good family things we can do for our family. Come back as soon as you can. Like and subscribe. I hope to see you real soon. Love you all. Bye-bye.